Peace, 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 everybody. My ascending, Miss Maury, Felicia. Felicia, what's good, baby? You still in New York? B Moon Goddess, Nuances, Dirty Laughter. All right. Quick chat. Really quick. How we feeling out there, though? How we feeling today under these heavy Gemini lights? Y'all been overthinking like a motherfucker today, huh? You don't know what you want to do today, huh? Don't know which one of these decisions you about to make on a new moon, huh? The tribe within you. Stevie. Brother, family, yes sir. Mindful on me. Sex and Stardust, Drain, VV. Okay, so, I just want to, I have personal readings being uploaded on YouTube, guys. I kind of can't do collective readings no more. I can't start from Aries and finish at Pisces. I can't start in the first house and finish at the 12th house. I can't. It's too taxing on my spirit. And for me personally, it's too taxing because I talk too goddamn much, family. So when I do these readings, for the most part, I'm gonna jump on YouTube and everybody's gonna get them up personally. All right, get an Aries video personally. Aries, get your you feel me, your 15 minutes of fame. Taurus, get their 15 minutes of fame. Get everybody out there personally, individually. So that's what I'm working on getting done tonight. All right, guys. But for the most part, I just want to talk quick new moon things with y'all. I know y'all been tapping into all the other astrologers and everybody out there giving their influence about this energy. So I just want to pinpoint some things that we all need to understand, no matter what your big three is, what your sun moon is, what your rising is. All right. Trey, Jocelina, Alexandra, Money Cat Soul, Quentin Lovelace. So for the most part, when we're talking about new moons, we know new moons, they conjunct the sun, okay? They conjunct the sun. And when we have that energy, all right, the moon is how we deal with the emotions overall. And the sun is how we want to see ourselves. It's very important to understand that, all right? So I always make a lot of jokes between the sun and the moon, because at the end of the day, the moon energy is always going to correlate to what make you feel the most comfortable. But depending on the relationship your moon got with the sun, that's how things are going to manifest into how you project things, how you act on things, how you may want people to see you, depending on your sun. Yeah, you already know, Trey, I got you. So when we look at the new moon, this is a time. We're going to get into the solar eclipse, but the fact that this is a new moon, it's a time to leave things in the past, man. This is one of the main things I wanted to make sure I bring up. It's been a real unstable, possibly chaotic, possibly scattered Gemini season for a lot of us, okay? And, jumping into this new moon energy, this is not the time to bring in heavy, unwarranted vibes. The things that y'all thinking and feeling heavy on right now that y'all don't want to be thinking and feeling heavy on for the rest of Gemini season, and we got Mars going into Leo this weekend, and with all the other energies and retrogrades to come, this is our time right now to really nip things in the bud spiritually, all right? So, this is when the solar eclipse comes into play. Okay, this is when the solar eclipse comes into play, because when we looking at, listen, this shit hot as shit. It's already hot in New York. That's why I don't do lights. It's big Scorpio energy over here. We don't like lights and all that extra shit. So when we look at the new moon, this being a time to set new intentions and whatnot, all right? Wipe the past. We're looking forward towards, new possibilities, positive outcomes, positive results, okay? We're not trying to manipulate the fuck out the future. We're just trying to conquer today, conquer the present. All right, one day at a time. Y'all know I emphasize that shit a whole lot. But when we look at the solar eclipse, the sun represents how we want to be seen. The sun represents how you want people to see you, regardless about how you feel about things, how you react to things. The sun is how you want people to see you. So right now, the sun is going to be hovering over the moon to the point, we're not seeing that energy. It's going to be a real dark ass night. Okay. And This plays out as us being able to wipe out any projections of how we want to be seen with our sun, anything that's attached to our sun, how we want other people to see us, the negative thoughts we may have about certain bad habits with our sun sign. That shit gets to get wiped tomorrow. It's like a new blank slate with the eclipse. So you get to align how you truly feel about things, your true aspirations, things you truly want to react to, things you want to set new intention in, things you want to give a new breath of air into. You get to align that with your new identity here when we're talking about the solar eclipse. Like, this is how it plays out spiritually, metaphysically, with the sun taking that place of the moon. So it's real important when it comes into setting your intentions and when it comes into moving on this week post new moon. Y'all know I always say is one thing to understand the energies we in now, but that post full moon, post new moon shit is important as hell, because you're gonna continue to feel this energy as we move along throughout the rest of Gemini season. All right, so that's very important. That's very important. Know what's worth your time right now. All right, because this energy is so strong. We can reel things in like this right now for the rest of this season. We could reel things in like this, negative and positive. People are throwing out, we dealing with heavy retrograde energies. So yes, a lot of revision. A lot of us right now is going back to foundations of things we started in January, February, possibly you started a new business last year, early this year. Right now you looking at the foundation like, goddamn, I should have got the business account when I first got this motherfucker. I knew I was going to grow my clients, or I knew I should have got my LLC there, or I knew I should have did this and that when I first started it. But it's okay. I'm seeing progress. Just got to fix the foundation. There's a whole lot of that shit right now. And we're doing that mainly with what? Business and relationships. Heavy revision energy when it comes to the foundation of business and relationships. So I've been saying this since Saturn went retrograde. You need to be revising all type of business investments you guys are making. You need to be overthinking the shit people are throwing in your ears about what you should be doing with your money. There's a whole bunch of that right now. There's a whole bunch of people telling you where to put your money at. It's super critical, toxic season right now. So if you living on Earth, somebody been critiquing your ass. And it's some toxic energy somewhere hovering around you, whether it's in your house, whether it's in your relationship, it's with your goddamn kids being toxic, it's with your goddamn parents, it's with your goddamn neighborhoods. You could point out to some toxic shit in your life right now. So it's super critique season, super toxic season. And when I say super critique season, not only are a lot of us feeling like the things people are saying is like it's such a critical analysis on the things that we're doing, or our relationships, or our business ventures. We the ones being critical as hell too. A lot of y'all been looking at other people, looking at y'all friends, talking about like, you got all these resources, you should be doing that, this and that, third. If I had that, yeah, a lot of us been jumping into that bag too. It's Mercury energy. Mercury's gonna jump you into a bunch of comparing and contrasting, because it's always analyzing, observing, trying to get the details of everything. And we dealing with heavy air. So this is just like a bunch of the shit that we done accumulated through our heavy Gemini travels so far. A lot of new information about people we already been dealing with. A lot of new information about people we already been dealing with. A lot of new information with businesses we was already, focal points dealing with stability that we was already involved with. Things we got to retweak and whatnot. So when we come into the solar eclipse, new moon, solar eclipse is tomorrow. I know the new moon is peaking around 7 a.m. Don't know when exactly the solar eclipse. I think the eclipse is around like motherfucking 3 p.m. or some shit. But for the most part, the certain situations with people right now, like y'all can't be too accessible. I'm dealing with a lot of situations, not me personally, but just talking to some people and doing certain readings, and some people are not realizing how their effort is not being reciprocated in relationships, and that's one of the huge emphasis of this season. Who the fuck can you rely on? Who's in your corner? You chill with 5 motherfuckers every day. Which one of these motherfuckers have substance? Because I'm just gonna be, if I don't honor the people I'm around, then I'm just a product of my environment. Like a lot, this season was getting y'all to realize that you really just being a product of your environment. You got all these goals and aspirations, but you got to manipulate your environment some more. You got to manipulate your relationships some more. And when I use the word manipulate, I'm speaking spiritually. I'm not talking about from a humane, dumbed down human aspect. I'm talking about spiritually. Manipulating your life. You know, if you putting work into something because you want it to grow, you're manipulating an energy. When you're doing a new moon, full moon ritual, you're manipulating energies in your favor. When we don't do that personally, this world that we live in and these programs do it themselves. We get manipulated by these motherfuckers. We get manipulated by schools, by these programs, by TV shows. All right. So you manipulate first out this motherfucker. That's word of the day. Manipulate first. You feel me? But I know that sound hella toxic. You can't even say anything in the season with that shit not sounding toxic. God damn. Can't even talk regularly without saying some crazy shit. That's why I try to tell y'all, if it don't make sense, if you could think about it a little bit more, just a little bit more before you say it, you might want to do that right now. Might want to do that in Gemini season. Right? It won't hurt. It won't hurt. But so yeah, we don't want to be bringing unwanted vibes into this past this week right now. Okay, now specifically, we got the moon when we solar eclipse, the sun, the image of our sun, the image of how we see ourselves right now. That's a blank slate. That's wiped right now. Okay, it's time to get your moon, how you truly feel about things, aligned with how you want to be seen, how you're about to be action oriented about things, what type of light you're trying to push out to the collective. Okay, so there's a lot of things people may feel like they're behind with. You feel me? They know you should have been doing this the whole Gemini season. You feel like you should have been doing this with your business, with this personal issue, with this responsibility, with this relationship. Right now, once again, when we talk about the solar eclipse, that shit is a blank memory card. It's up to you to bring some negative shit into this shit. It's up to you to hold on to a negative relationship that you scared to express yourself in a relationship and feel heavily unfulfilled, and that shit toxic as a motherfucker. You just sliding into the rest of the Gemini season with this motherfucking weak ass vibe of a relationship that you choose to hold. Okay, you got a business that you want to work on. You past couple of years, you ain't never get consistent with it yet. You feel me? You want a YouTube to blow up, you ain't get consistent with that yet. This was the time where the job you don't want to be at felt the most fucking frustrating. This was this month for that. That job you ain't want to be at felt the most frustrating at this time. You feel me? Because when you're not revising things during retrogrades, that's when you're gonna bump into the real negative stereotypes about retrograde. Feeling super unorganized. Shit feeling like it's all over the place. You not having no energies, circumstances feeling centered at all. It's hot as a motherfucker. You put the AC on. I don't want that shit to be too loud. It's hot. I feel like slavery in New York. What's the temperature outside? Slavery. But so the reason why, you know, new moons are usually real positive. You bringing new shit into this shit. You coming into this new cycle with new possibilities, open for new opportunities. Okay, but this shit is a little wicked because there's a lot going on. You know, it's being influenced by the portion that it's even in Gemini, I believe, is influenced by Hades. That's why a lot of Geminis is real turned up, because Hades resembles like the underworld and shit. So that's why you got some goddamn Geminis that's some damn demons out here, all right? That need to learn how to use their duality for higher thoughts and not some lower energies, okay? But when we looking at this new moon, what I like to take away from this is some of the aspects that we're looking at, and the fact that this is going to be trining Saturn retrograde. All right, Saturn's retrograde in Aquarius, and the Saturn retrograde energy is the main energy that got a lot of us feeling like, okay, I truly do gotta buckle down on my responsibilities. I truly do got to make sure I put things into priority right now, because I could see myself being super unstable if I don't do these things right now. Almost a lot of us getting second chances with business. Some of us have had, especially this retrograde season, a lot of people are having resources that they've been had taken away from them. And you realizing like, damn, I had all of that and I was not using that to so-called build the shit that I want to build. Now that shit not there no more. And some people's going into this new moon with their back against the wall. And that's what they got a motherfucking devise a new plan for. How to work with these resources, because I wasn't being appreciative of them. Okay? We don't need to be in that energy. We need to realize what we do have, the people in our corner right now, the positive ways of thinking. Look at the way that you think as a tool. A lot of y'all is surrounded by people that got some fucked up ways of thinking. Got some real, you feel me, limited ways of thinking. And then when you around these people, you feel outcasted because the way you thinking is so grand. The way you thinking, you start to feel uncomfortable bringing up certain ideas, because you know once it's gonna hit a cap with other people's heads. Those have to be the thoughts that you're like, you know what, I ain't gonna fucking say anything. I would just show and prove. I'm just gonna create my own testimonials now. Cause I be trying to enlighten people. All this Gemini energy got me trying to give people new information. I'm trying to show this motherfucker how they could apply for this job over here. I'm trying to show this motherfucker how they could they fucking selling they shit. They still selling shit in the streets. I'm trying to tell them how to make an online website. Niggas don't want to hear me though. So now you feeling a little unbalanced, because you know you ain't maximized the knowledge and information you have, but Gemini season got you to everybody else. You feel me? So like a lot of us just this new moon, we like, man, listen. Yeah, I have business conversations with these motherfuckers. I have spiritual conversations with these motherfuckers. Alright? These are the family members I do shit with. Like, these are the friends that I know I could bring here, but I can't bring them motherfuckers over there. Like, a lot of that. A lot of that is coming into this week. Okay? New moons help to gather up what you've been going through in the new season to establish new principles about doing things. So everybody in some type of shape or form right now should have a new type of moral about how they're dealing with some of their relationships or things applied to their business. Even if things are going positive, you may still have to filter out other toxic shit. You may be running a real positive business right now, or you know things is really on the come up right now, things that you're trying to grow, but you noticing other things attached to that business, maybe certain other people you work with that have toxic traits, or strong self agendas that they can't hide, that they think they hiding, but it's so fucking evident that you is some shit for your goddamn self, and you gotta learn to nip that shit in the bud right now to protect your business, to protect your foundation. There's a lot of that shit right now too. So y'all can't be mad. I want to say mad. Y'all can't be feeling reluctant and hesitant to make certain decisions to nip shit in the butt to protect a foundation or something. You know? Somebody hit me up yesterday, DM me, asked me a question. Should they have a conversation about where they stand in a relationship with somebody that they're dating, that they on and off with for mad long? And I told the person straight up, if you're not in a space where you mean what you really say, it don't matter. You might as well not say anything, because the person is always gonna pick up on your energy. There's always unsaid things in relationships, but people think in relationships the things that are unsaid don't have other ways of being released. All right, so yeah, if you a sneaky motherfucker, you may be a little more spiritually wiser than others in knowing how to keep certain internal feelings and thoughts to yourself and make your sun sign and everything else you're projecting seem like you feel another way about something, especially about the state of your relationship. But for the most part, when you're in a relationship, when you're connecting with somebody intimately, consistently, you're spiritually building a rapport with this person. You fuck around, start talking. Like, how many times y'all start dating somebody, you start picking up on their words, you start picking up on their lingo and shit. Motherfuckers be making jokes saying when you date somebody long enough, you start looking like a motherfucker. I know y'all heard that shit before. So, you can't build up such an emotional, psychological rapport connection with somebody and then think They're not going to be able to read your mind sometimes. They're not going to be able to read your emotional well-being sometimes. So I told this person, like, yeah, if you can't have this conversation with this person about where you stand, and if you really mean what you say, you don't want this person being in and out, then, you feel me, there has to be a real conviction with how you express yourself, because all the other party's energy is going to pick up on, like, man, you really mean this shit. This will pass over today, tomorrow. Like, but them conversations have to be needed to be had right now, okay? Because once again, we're not about to bring nothing that we don't want into this new cycle. This whole period was helping us to filter relationships, filter people in our life, filter how accessible we are. All right, be conscious of the way we communicate with people. A lot of us had to realize how we had negative ways of communicating with others. This new moon, it's time to take that lesson, that experience, okay, grow from that. Okay, like I said, this was heavy critique toxic season. So the things universe wanted you to really work on, improve on, revise on, and see how you're stunting your own growth, that's not going to pop up this new moon. That's been highlighting. So it's up to us not to make sure we're taking all this negative, or not, I don't want to say all negative, but we're not taking things that we want to improve on into this new cycle with no attention, with no light, because that shit been highlighted during Gemini season. All right, so yeah, this is really a time to get that emotional state aligned with how you want to project yourself, how you want your identity to be perceived. Solar eclipse, we can't see the sun. All right, moon is, we can't see the light off the moon from the sun. And with the earth being in the mix with this eclipse, earth is always going to represent stability, foundation. All right, Taurus is, you could say Taurus rules earth. That's why Taurus rules this realm. That's why they can manifest things so quick. That's why earth, like, rule by earth, rule by Venus, influenced by the moon. So it's really positive, real strong energy when we start breaking down the relationship between Taurus and the earth realm. But for the most part, earth always going to represent stability, reality. So people have to understand the ways that you think right now and who you connect to right now can simply transform the fuck out of your reality in the next 30 days. You knowing what's priority, who's priority, that could just shift your reality in the next 30 days. Okay? Just off of the strength of how powerful this energy is, and the fact that we got the solar eclipse involved, but then this shit is trining Saturn. All right? We know Saturn deals with reality, structure, restriction, limitation. People wonder why I've been talking a lot about kind of cutting off lately a lot, because Saturn deals with that shit. Saturn teaches you what needs to be cut off. Saturn teaches you what's not a responsibility. Saturn ain't working on nothing that don't feel like it got substance from. Saturn ain't gonna work on anything that I don't feel like it could grow or make sense. So with it being retrograde, we seeing all the shit we've been working on that didn't make no goddamn sense. We seeing all the shit. We got business ideas, we've been working on them. We seeing that things that we were doing in this business previously that is like, damn, it didn't OD hurt us, but I see how we could have been further or more growth if we would have nipped that in the bud earlier. So it's just being open to making sure you're taking all those things into consideration right now. The moon is going to be conjunct Mercury as well. That's retrograde. So we got this new moon is going to be making aspects towards both planets retrograde right now. It was in conjunct Pluto moving into today, but yeah. So when we looking at Mercury retrograde, Saturn retrograde, new moon is making contact with both. So this is why it's like new moons are usually real positive times. But this week, once this shit hit tomorrow, we already picking up. We already dealt with some of the vibes today, rolling in tomorrow. It's gonna be, more. It may be a lot of replay scenarios in our lives that come strong tomorrow or leading into the weekend. Certain conversations that need to be had, they ain't gonna make it towards that. They gonna be had right now. They gonna be had during this weekend. Okay. Because if the new moon's gonna be making contact with these replay planets, with these planets that's in revision right now, then as strong as this shit is, the things that we basically want to set new intentions on, universe is gonna pinpoint or create a circumstance for you to understand, like, all right, you got them intentions, but we need to handle this first. It's gonna be really hard trying to work on that, it's gonna be really hard trying to work on this new business, this new relationship. You know, you met somebody you really like, see potential in them, but you know damn well you still having all type of conversations with your ex here and there about shit. Something gonna pop up during this week leading into the weekend to have you realize you're not thinking as realistic about your relationships. Saturn, always reality is gonna hit, but we can use this energy to manipulate. Okay, so with it being a trine, trines create opportunities. All right, we got these two planets aligning in a harmonious way. So with the moon aligning with Saturn in a trine, we have the opportunity to react to things in our reality with common sense, with the way that we should be dealing with the situation. With it logically is in air. With it dealing with situations with us being able to logically, reasonably communicate with others right now. So if you coming into situations trying to communicate like an adult and that's not being reciprocated, it ain't your fault if you're like, alright, I'm good. You can't be in situations thinking shit fair if you always overexerting yourself, overexhausting yourself. Every time you get a conversation, you're trying to overprove a point. That's a taxing relationship. That's a taxing relationship if you always gotta overdo some shit in your relationship. So if we can have reasonable, mature, logical conversations with others about how we feel, universe trying to show you something right now. Feel me? So that's that. Alright, y'all. And then we're gonna have the moon square Neptune in Pisces. We're gonna have the moon square Neptune in Pisces. So, you know, Cheryl's is popping, Cheryl's with the moon sextile and with the moon square and Neptune in Pisces. This comes back into seeing how we utilize our creativity, our ability to utilize faith in our imagination, how we're going to be able to utilize this when we're talking about our new intentions. You know, when we look at Neptune in Pisces, that Pisces constellation already has his relationship with Jupiter and Neptune because these are the rulers, okay? And both of the rulers are home right now. So when we dealing with our reality and all the bullshit in our reality, there has been positive solutions to everything that you've been dealing with. There has been some form of resolve you've been able to look at. It may not be a solution you want, but it's a solution. You may still want to be with that person, but you know it ain't good for you. All right? These type of energies. You know, Neptune, ever since Neptune been in Pisces, there's so many ways we could point out in society, seeing all different type of creative things come to the forefront, especially people dealing with their spiritual abilities being more broadcasted, all right? Now, when Jupiter came into this motherfucker, it's not going to be here for that long. It's going retrograde, and I forgot when. It's going to be slide back into Aquarius. But this little gap while Jupiter is in there, Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces, right now, you should be, you should have some super duper big and beyond overdoing it illusion ass goals more than not striving for something. Like instead of me telling you where's your goals, where's your aspiration at, you know, where's your optimistic outlook on the things you're working at, I should be looking at you instead like, damn, you really believe that much? You really have that much faith? Because we have that much access to that shit. We have that much access into having more positive outlooks on things that we dealing with in reality, once again. So the moon is going to be squaring Neptune in Pisces, though. We know squares is friction. Can't be having no squares in your circle. Okay? So when we're looking at whatever squares the moon, this is what we got to learn to react to, respond to. So with the moon squaring Neptune, there's going to be a lot of influences, and these are things we're already picking up on, you know, subconsciously right now. But it's going to go into full effect moving on towards the rest of this week once again. When we're looking at the moon square Neptune, and this is for any of y'all that actually have this aspect in your chart, my planetary aspects class is available on my site, so y'all could go ahead and get that if y'all need that. But when we're looking at the moon squaring Neptune, these are people that they have to learn how to decipher reality and their illusions. They have to learn how to make their creativity play a part in their reality. Okay? When you got the moon squaring Neptune, in some type of shape or form, anything squaring the moon, once again, you need to learn to react to it. So it's going to be a lot of circumstances where people either highlight your creativity, highlight your wisdom, and you got to see how to make that play a part in your life. You know, some of us have gifts and talents that our friends, even your coworkers, be telling you, why the fuck you work here? Why the fuck do you work here? You can sing that good, you can rap that good, you can paint that good. You know this much about that, you know this much about that. Some of us be having our goddamn co-workers tell us that shit. So when you got moon square Neptune, you're gonna deal with a lot of them circumstances if you're not active. If you don't got energies that get you active into your creativity, get you active into what you believe in, all right, then that shit gonna be knocking on your that shit knocks on your door hard. Okay? Because there's a lot of circumstances which you having to learn how to fucking believe in yourself, how to put more faith. You see other people do things, you get inspired and understanding that you could, you know, catapult yourself to the same heights, the same way you watch people do for themselves. Okay? But everything with Neptune comes with some illusion, comes with some cloudiness. All right? This is where we talk about faith and belief. Ain't nothing concrete with Neptune. Okay? It's a real spiritual essence. So this is what we're dealing with right now. We learning to have more belief and faith in our shit. We're learning to look at our creativity and our imagination, okay, and look at it as a solution to deal with things in our relationships. Some of us right now, you probably got some turbulence in your relationship. Maybe being creative right now, switch some shit up. Go have a conversation at a restaurant y'all never been to, all right? Play a motherfucker, make a card game, a romantic card game or some shit. Get creative on the motherfucker. Feel me? But when we're looking at the square between, the natural square between Gemini and Pisces, you know, that's a natural square. They're both mutable, all right? Mutable, the most flexible, adaptable signs in the zodiac, but they're doing two different things. Pisces is being flexible and adaptable, how it deals with the emotions of others, the vibration of the collective, the subconscious, its creativity. That's what it's flexible with. That's why Pisces is some of the most understanding people. Okay, so but when we're looking at Gemini is being mutable with air, with the intellect, learning from others, picking up information with others, being flexible with communication, being able to listen. I got Gemini friends I can bring anywhere because I know they can switch that shit the fuck up. They can switch that shit the fuck up. You feel me? So, you know, the more evolved Geminis, they got that shit on lock. They don't allow, you know, their different ways of communicating with others to have them feeling scattered with so much different forms of information and gossip, and because it's easy for a Gemini to get lost in that. It's easy for a Gemini moon to get lost in a bunch of information, people telling you a bunch of shit, you being influenced to tell other people your business like that. Gemini, you walk right into that portal picking Gemini as your sun and moon in this lifetime. But when we're looking at Gemini being mutable is with the air, so it's flexible and adaptable with communication. So right now there's going to be a lot of influences we catching of understanding how to relate our creativity, how to articulate our creativity to others. That's what Gemini and Pisces have to learn from each other. Gemini already sends the message. Gemini already relates. It's the air. It already got the context. It already got the resources. All right. Pisces, all right, is dealing with more so the subconscious connection. Pisces is dealing with more so the feel of understanding others, connecting with others. And it got a whole bunch in its imagination that it wants to extend and connect. But when we get into technical things, learning how to sometimes, you know, find ways to articulate your creativity or take your imagination and put it in the box and formulate it to give it off to others, that's where it get a little challenging sometimes for a Pisces. Because Pisces sometimes look at the world like the world ain't created. Like the world too logical. Nobody feels. Nobody understands. Nobody connects. That's how water signs be feeling sometimes. So right now we got to understand how to do that shit. We got to understand that if there's a way to relate your creativity and you know you haven't exercised that, exercise it. Fit it into your schedule. Fit it into how you do things business-wise. Cheryl's posted something the other day. Some artist sold the invisible picture and but her caption on it was, motherfuckers is making money off selling air, but you talking about you bored. That sums up the times we live in today. Motherfuckers is getting rich selling air. What is you doing? What is you doing? You feel me? So it's important to understand. All right, it's important to understand. When we look at Moon square Neptune and Pisces, not only are we learning how to integrate our creativity and our imagination with how we deal with our relationships, with how we deal with relating things to others, taking a creative idea and connecting it to others. Not only are we catching them influences, it's a square. Squares is still learning. So the moon, we have to learn how to deal with Neptune energy on the negative aspect. All right. On a positive aspect, Neptune is dealing with imagination, creativity. Wherever Neptune is at in your chart, a lot of your creativity is stimulated in this house. Neptune in the 4th house, you may have had some siblings, relatives that influence things you creatively into. Neptune in the 7th house, you may have develop a lot of relationships with people, be able to make a bunch of contacts with people that's aligned with your dreams. All right, with the things you creatively into. All right, Neptune in the 8th house, you into a whole bunch of creative shit behind the scenes. Niggas don't know you sing that good. Niggas don't know you rap that good. They don't know you design that good. All right, so that's where our creativity be stimulated the most. Okay, so on the negative side, since Neptune is dealing with that creativity, that imagination, that super abstract energy, it's also dealing with illusions. So a lot of us we're going to be influenced to make sure we can't neglect illusions in our life right now. And this new moon is highlighting what's an illusion. If a relationship you in right now, you're in some type of illusion, you go snap out of it right now during this week, going into this weekend. You're going to realize your partner been trying to like throw some mirages in your way a little bit. And you go snap out of it a little bit. You're going to be able to see it because we're forced to react to what's an illusion in our life. It may be certain things that we have the most faith and belief in right now. But that's all the fuck we have in it. That's all we have in it. It ain't no faith without the works. So some of us have way too much faith and belief in things right now. And we want to look at the house where Pisces is at in your chart. You need to look at that house and see what the fuck is going on in this house that may be an illusion right now. That universe been trying to highlight. Because there's probably some shit in that house going on right now that's playing out as an illusion. Or you probably got some, you got Pisces in the motherfucking 6th house. So at work, you in some type of illusion. You might be in some type of illusion right now at work. You getting used for your time way more than you getting paid for. All type of shit. Your manager gassing you at work, saying you about to be this, that, and the third. You in some type of illusion. You need to look at that 6th house. So to understand where we might need to kick some more reality into things is wherever Pisces may be at in your chart, because this is the area we're learning to react and respond to when we're looking at Neptune. All right. And on the positive side, during this time, we also still have Venus sextile Uranus and Venus sextile Uranus and Venus trine Jupiter. Okay. So once again, Neptune and Jupiter are already dealing with optimism. Some planets is already optimistic and negative by default. That's when we get into the malefics and all that shit. Okay? This is why we want to manipulate the malefics to make them motherfuckers work with us. We ain't trying to work against you motherfuckers. We ain't trying to work against you, Pluto. I know I need to transform shit in this lifetime. I know shit got expiration dates. I know I need to have long-term intentions. This is another energy we're dealing with during the new moon. I'm glad I said that. We're refining long-term intentions right now. Okay? We're being influenced to deal with more long-term intention right now. Some of us thinking too short. Some of y'all thinking way too short about shit. Some of y'all just, we want to grasp the present. But at the same time, spirit be liking challenges. All right? Sometimes you got to learn how to psych your spirit up. Like, this shit is deep. You got to learn to really gas your spirit sometimes. Like, you got to learn, to over gas your spirit. Set goals that to you would just sound crazy. But shit, that's why you shoot high. So you over exceed. You feel me? But for the most part, that's the energy that we're going to be in right now as far as us dealing with Venus, bringing some support when it comes to transformations going on in our life. Wherever Uranus is at, all of us, wherever Taurus is at in our chart, that shit began transforming past 2 years, past year and a half. Okay, you get more resolve over there, and then Venus is also trining Jupiter. So we got the moon trining. The moon is gonna trine Saturn, but we got Venus trining Jupiter. So, Venus brings a whole bunch of support to different outlets, different ways that we could utilize our wisdom. When you got Venus, people that got Venus making harmonious alignments with Jupiter in their chart, these are people that they appreciate the ability to motherfucking utilize their knowledge and wisdom. Like, they look at their wisdom like knowledge is power. All right? I love learning. I love expanding myself, what I'm conscious and what I'm aware about to help build, make something out of it, connect it, relate it. Venus sextile Jupiter, these are some of the people that, like, they love to learn. Literally, it comes off as a super pastime pleasure. These people could probably be they get turned off in their relationships when they feel like they can't even learn from their partner, when their partner don't stimulate no type of experience, partner don't stimulate no type of motherfucking wisdom, or you look at your partner like they ain't got no wisdom. Like, they attractive, they know how to get, I mean, they ain't broke, know how to dress, but a little hollow in there though. All right, a little hollow in there. Okay, so people that got motherfucking Neptune, Jupiter aspecting the Venus, like, you ain't gonna really keep their attention that long if you can't teach them anything. If you can't learn anything with them. Okay, I talk about Venus a lot with the love language, but when you're looking at the aspects of Venus, that shit trickle in too. Okay, that shit trickle in too. And that could just go from that alone, since we talking about Jupiter, that alone could go for Pisces, Sagittarius, and Cancers. People that have heavy Pisces, Sagittarius, Cancer placements, they need to be able to learn from you. They need to be able to be able to feel like they could teach you, enlighten you, and you'll be open-minded to it. That's big for them. Pisces, Cancer, and Sag. If they feel like they dealing with somebody that they can't teach or can't be receptive or understanding, or be able to comprehend the spiritual shit that they may be into, or the philosophical ways of looking at life that they may be into, because all three of them signs is influenced by Jupiter, it's gonna be tough. Am I being a matchmaker? Nah, but I just be knowing what I just like. This is why I'm not doing synastry readings right now. One, they're a lot of work. They're a lot of work, and at the time I didn't have time to do them. I'm only taking like real serious requests, but it's like I just know what keeps a sign on their heels and what's super turn-offs. Like, I know these things for a fact. So them signs right there. And Cancer may not, Pisces and Cancers, they're underrated for how adventurous they kinda is. Cancer can be as adventurous as a fucking Pisces and Sag. Yes, they can. But Cancer has to have a certain environment built. It has to have a certain connection built with somebody. But Cancer has a certain relationship, a certain connection, understanding with somebody, they'll be super free-spirited. But you may not view a Cancer like that, because the crab just gonna be the crab. That's what you're gonna see from a Cancer. If their sun is in Cancer, you just gonna see the crab. You gonna just see somebody cool, calm, and collective, testing the temperament of the water. But when it's nighttime and the crab get around his buddies he really fuck with, it's a whole party on the shore. It's a whole party on the shore. You feel me? That's how Cancers be playing shit out. That's Jupiter energy. It's just that Jupiter is the exaltation in Cancer. They rule by the moon, so that should come first. The ruler gonna come first. Period. And the moon dealing with understanding, receiving, being receptive, understanding, connected, and all them things you don't do like this. So that's why Cancers don't move like this. But let them get around motherfuckers they comfortable with. They can be the life of the party. If Cancers is hosting the party, and the only motherfuckers, and they controlled who got invited, and how the party was set up, life of the party. You gonna think the Cancers are Leo. If y'all know Cancers, y'all know that. If you're close with a Cancer, you know that. If you're close with a Cancer. Facts on fact, I'm a Pisces with a lot of Sagittarius in my chart. Scorpio sun, Cancer moon, Cancer rising. So yeah, a lot of rapport got to be built up for you to get that free spirit energy. Got to be a lot of rapport there. Cause Scorpio, you gotta melt that ice for them to get to that energy with you. You gotta melt that ice. That's gonna take time though. I want to be a matchmaker. If you get invited to the party, right? If you get invited to the party, Cancers, Virgos, Scorpios, Aries. Aries might not go to the party, but them three right there, Virgos, Scorpios, Cancers, they need to check who's at the party before they show up. They need to ask whoever's throwing the party. They need to make sure certain motherfuckers is not gonna be there. They need to get that little upside, that scoop on the party a little bit. They not just trying to walk in that motherfucker like that. Like, I gotta know who could. Alright, don't tell me. I don't need to see the whole list. I don't need to see the whole list of who's coming. Can I just let me know who controlled the list? Who's coming? Can I know that? Y'all can tell me that? No? Alright. Can y'all let me in? Alright, what about this? What about I pay half of my admission. Let me scope this shit out for 15 minutes. I'll let you know if I want to stay, I'll pay the rest. I'll pay the whole 20. Let me pay 10 now, see how it is in there. See if I fuck with the vibe. I'll give you the other 10 when I get it. Look, I got it right here. I can't do that neither. God damn, y'all hard to work with. God damn. Hard to work with. Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio trying to scope the scene out before they get in. So please send me the meme. Please send me that if you know where it's at. So yeah, that's Jupiter energy, y'all. Jupiter energy don't know shit about being limited. Jupiter energy don't know shit about being. If you put Jupiter in jail, just look at it like this. If Jupiter was in jail, Jupiter just got a life sentence. That shit gonna take a while for Jupiter to realize it's a life sentence. Like, cause it ain't never gonna really jump into that energy. Jupiter always gonna be thinking they gonna be able to get out that motherfucker. Jupiter always gonna be thinking, no, there's some type of spiritual, philosophical energy. I could tap into this is just reality. Like these bar cells and shit, that's just reality. I know I did some shit spiritually to make my life circumstances and my body do a whole bunch of shit in reality that got me in a jail cell. So I just need to work some shit spiritually to get my black ass the fuck out the jail cell. That's how Jupiter think. AKA, this is how much of an illusion. This is how imaginative / an illusion a Pisces or Sagittarius could be in sometimes. You can have some Sagittarius friends. You can have some Sagittarius friends just went through a whole bunch of reckless shit in their life and explain this shit like it was a whole adventure, like it was a whole positive adventure. And you looking at this shit like, nigga, you on probation right now. You got an ankle monitor on you got an ankle monitor on. You telling me how crazy the shootout was? You telling me how you can't wait to experience some shit like that? That's how much so Jupiter is that expansive. You feel me? Sometimes they lose DMX, you know, God bless his spirit. I already know his spirit is large, so he got big spirit, so I already know whatever body he getting into next, he about to shake some shit up again. Where are my dogs? All right, he about to shake some shit up again because he was a don't give a fuck. His spirit was strong. He really. You ever see DMX pray? You know a nigga spirit strong when you see the way they pray. You know a nigga spirit strong when you see the way they pray. You ever meditate with somebody else and you be thinking like, damn, I want to be the first one to be like, okay, we good, like, cause I know I'm good right now, but this motherfucker is in it right now. That's how you. Motherfucker be acting like they not looking at the time while they meditated. God damn, we 35 minutes in. I think I done seen enough. Look over to your partner, the motherfucker look like they in it. They not there. You actually said yo, and they didn't even say nothing back, so you know they not there. You tried to say something and they ass still in meditation mode. So that's that DMX shit. You see DMX pray and you be like, yeah, I thought I was spiritual. He talking to them spirits right now. Like, I know there's spirits in this room because he not talking to, he is not just putting affirmation in the air. No. I could tell he really talking to them niggas in here. So let me shut the fuck up and let this nigga pray. That's how DMX pray. All right. So until your spiritual intent is that strong, I don't want to hear it, man. Until your prayer make me feel like there's actual spirits in the room, you ain't really spiritual. You might be a little spiritual. But there's some people that's doing some new moon intentions tonight, and their spirits in the room. And they having real convos with these motherfuckers. Alright? So yeah, that's that Jupiter energy. That's that Jupiter energy we're dealing with right now. And right now with the alignments that we have hitting Jupiter, all right, and Neptune during this solar eclipse week, these energies is influencing us to use that energy. Okay? The moon square Neptune is helping us to understand how to react to our creativity, how to utilize our wisdom more wisely and not be lost in our imagination, not be lost in the illusion right now. Okay? How can I tweak how I use how can I tweak this situation? Excuse me. How can I tweak this situation, the circumstance in my life by forcing my fucking self to know that this is going to play out positively, to force myself in knowing that this is really a positive circumstance, and sometime in my future, I don't know when, but I'm going to be appreciating that I'm learning that. That's not the easiest thing to do at times. This is why I don't even like being the one to give positive advice for shit sometimes. Because the same what can sound cliche that I be telling myself is the same advice I have for other people, but there's no other way to say things at times. When you're going through a fucked up breakup, and I gotta be the one to tell you, this was a learning experience, I don't be wanting to say that shit, because some people don't know how to eat that sometimes. Some people don't know how to eat that shit sometimes. That's where the moon debilitated in Capricorn, but that's the positive shit about being a moon in Capricorn. That's where the positives come out. I get out the fucking relationship. I might be a little too cold-hearted. I might need some counseling after. I might be neglecting that I need counseling. Yeah, I might do that. I might have some issues I really need to work on that I might be neglecting that, but for the most part, I ain't about to be hung up on some shit though. Like, I'm good. I'm off that. You feel me? So that right there, that's maybe an energy a lot of us have to jump into this week. You might have to jump into that energy this week. Because with all the energies being hit with Jupiter and Neptune, there's a lot of people that's using this energy to manipulate others, to manipulate the emotions of others. And this is going to be the week that person wake the fuck up. Like, motherfucker, this is whole solar eclipse. I feel a whole new slate to manifest new things. And my spirit was pinpointing you as somebody as a blockage, or this surrounding, or this group of people, or like I said, it could be something abstract, a way of thinking that's playing out negative right now. Okay, these are all the things that we get to nip in the bud. All right, but yeah, that square Neptune shit right there, that's really gonna be the shit right now. It's gonna be certain. Sometimes we be wanting to stay in illusions too. That's the thing too. Some people be wanting to stay in illusions. You realize you was in illusion, but you like, you know what? Okay. You know, I could stay up in this bubble for a little bit. I don't really want to go back down to reality. Niggas is wilding down there again. Niggas throwing vaccines and shit around. I could just stay in this little illusion bubble a little longer. I just realized this shit was an illusion, but shit. Yeah, people be wanting to stay in them shit sometimes. For different reasons. All right. This is why also when we start talking about Neptune, we talk about fantasies. All right. Neptune correlates to your fantasies. Praying on the crown, on gonna go that way. So we had the same birthday too. This was true. Son got me dying. Right. That comment probably old as hell, but I had to hit you with a right for that one. So, so how you cut them off, Boro? Yeah, I posted. I could get cold on a motherfucker, so I be trying to keep the whole. The Libra aura be throwing shit off. Like, I get cold on a motherfucker. I walk away from a relationship, have somebody thinking like, damn, like, the Libra's gonna leave you in a relationship. When a Libra break up with you, an air sign break up with you, it have you thinking like, wait, hold on, was them 2 years real? Because everything be fast with the air sign. Everything be fast. Everything gets sped up, especially if you date a Gemini. If you date a Gemini, that relationship could be 3 years. It might feel like 1.5, because it's just Mercury. Time could be manipulated with air signs so much. So it's like an air sign could just put you through a number of experiences and dash, and they'll have you feeling like, wait, hold on. So this is why I'm real wiser with how I jump into certain situations, because a motherfucker be gone like the wind. You feel me? That's how I handle that. So we could just get into, I got personal readings uploaded. I really only wanted to be here for an hour, and I got on at 9 o'clock. So if y'all want to throw questions in the question box, we could get a little Q&A. You could do that. You feel me? But I just wanted to get these key things out about the motherfucking new moon. My moon in Capricorn was trying me to Gemini last night. Yeah, man, that air sun earth moon combo get a little crazy. Get a little crazy because air and earth could relate to each other because they both dealing with thinking. These are the thinking signs. Water and fire feel. Water and fire signs teach us how to feel. You may have heavy air and earth in your chart. You may have let's say you have a lot of air and earth in your chart, and you could be dealing with you'll be dating. It don't have to be dating somebody. Let's just. I'm not even gonna make it a relationship thing. You could have a friend. You could have a lot of air and earth in your chart, and you could have a friend that's going through something in their life, and then they're explaining what they going through, and they start crying. Sometimes if you got so much air and earth, you may look down on the crying. AKA this water sign that's crying, this fire sign that can't help, because fire signs cry because fire has to express the emotion. It can't keep it to itself. That's not fire. Water can keep it to itself. Water can keep too much to itself. Water can soak up way too much emotion. It's like, all right, motherfucker, you need counseling. This is 6 years of soaking up bullshit. Take your ass to counseling, and like a sponge, some water signs gotta scratch that motherfucker out. You feel me? Fire signs is different. It's the push out of the emotion. So most creative on the spot can be very charismatic, spontaneous, but shit, a fire sign gonna cry too about some shit, because they gotta let that shit be released. You feel me? It depends on some of these who the fire sign around at times and shit, but for the most part, I say that because when you're looking at the fire pushing out like that in some type of ways, the air or earth person gonna be looking at the fire or water person crying, and that's gonna be the instance an air or earth person might understand that they don't feel as much right then and there. When they see somebody breaking down for something, like break down from something, start crying about some shit, where air or earth side felt like that shit ain't gonna make me cry. I would have just thought about that solution, or I just would have went back to the unemployment office and told them they need to give my money, or I just would have. That's what the air and earth sign do. Okay, so sometimes the air earth sign get into a certain relationship, have a certain friend, and they see somebody else evoke some form of emotion, and that make you start realizing, like, damn, subconsciously your spirit telling you, like, yeah, we deal with the intellect, yeah, we deal with practicality, but motherfucker, you need to learn how to feel some shit out some more. You need how to learn to understand some more. Everything can't be something you think about. When I was younger and I was understanding getting into metaphysics, understanding the law of attraction, understanding universal laws. That shit'll jump you into thinking everything is thought. The quality of your thought. If you think it, you believe it. And yes, to a degree, a lot of that shit is true. But that's only an ingredient in manifesting shit. That's only an ingredient in manipulating your reality. You gotta have some of this. You gotta learn how to feel some things out. How much times have you been in a relationship and you didn't know what to think about it, but your emotion was leading you to making a certain decision about something, and that ended up being the decision that had to be made? Not everything's gonna rely on the thought. You want to use this as a sensor. So your gut, your emotion, your subconscious, your spirit is always going to be leading you. We use the mind as a sensor to help, because we understand we're dealing with reality. All right? So we need to learn how to make sure we think about how we deal with our emotions in certain ways. And obviously with us having certain energies, that's not easy for a lot of us. Like, you feel me? It's not easy for a lot of us, you know. I've been in mad situations where I realized I was being cold as fuck. And I was like, damn, goddamn. I didn't even understand I could be that cold. I didn't even understand I could be that. I could see somebody crying in a relationship, and I'd be like, that motherfucker, this crying shit not gonna work. After this argument, I'm going home. Like, I'm good with this relationship. I'm going home. I've been there before and had to think later, like, damn, that relationship is done, but I didn't have to be that cold. God damn. So this is what we all learn now. We're every day we're learning our love language, all right? Every relationship we get closer to understanding what the fuck we bring to the table. What the fuck, why we attract what we attract, why we're attracted to what we are attracted to. That's a part of understanding your love language too, not just how you want things done in your relationship. Realize why you attract the motherfuckers you attract. People be having everything to say about other people's relationships and what they want in their relationships and have no clue why they attract who they attract. No clue. No clue. No clue. There's certain women that if I attracted them, in my head, I'm like, I don't know how the fuck I attracted you. Like, you may be physically attracted to me, but mentally, we on some different shit, baby. Like, you scroll through my Instagram and don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. How the fuck I attracted you? So sometimes people just be like, people be thinking you're not a magnet in some type of shape or form. Like you're either pushing some shit off or attracting some shit by default. By default, you deal with a lot of toxic relationships. You might be the toxic motherfucker your damn self. You deal with a lot of relationships. You always get heartbroken. You probably came from a lifetime. You probably dealt with previous lifetimes of being too open, and you're gonna continue. So here comes the harsh cap moon advice. All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready? You may continue to have your motherfucking heart broke over and over and over again for lifetimes until you say something gotta change, and I gotta look in the mirror and understand why the fuck this happens so much. Until you start learning about boundaries, until you start learning about self-respect, until you start learning to express yourself, until you start learning to provide yourself with the environments that support how you deal with your emotions. Some people may not want to deal with that much solitude to get to that. Some people may not want to do that much work to get to that. But you can't complain about what you attract. You want to attract something different, you'll manipulate an energy about yourself. You'll improve an energy about yourself. So, social media, I'm an air sign, so it's easy for me to get caught up in shit that's being posted every day. It's easy for me to scroll a lot. And that's really a habit I'm trying to cut the fuck off. I hate how much Instagram can waste my fucking time sometimes. Alright? But I can't help but see certain posts, and when I know that we're under certain energies, I can't help but see the similarity in things people post. And the age we're in, everybody's a relationship coach. Everybody's a relationship guru in this age. Alright? So it's so easy to cling on to some of these motherfuckers right now. Okay? People see me post Kevin Samuels 2 times and think I'm a fucking Kevin Samuels fanatic. There's not one motherfucker on this earth that I agree with 100% what they say. Not one motherfucker. goddamn, I'm an air sign. Even I say some shit and a couple days later, I'd be like, all right, relax, motherfucker. Shit. Even sometimes I gotta tell my black ass relax. So, you know, people see me post 2 Kevin Samuels posts, and then I realize with some of the replies and some of the things people say to me, I'm like, wait, why people treating me like I'm a Kevin Samuels fanatic? Because I'm emphasizing valid points one individual is making. And that's for those of y'all who's been on top of my posts lately, how much have I been bringing up constructive criticism? Right now, it's been so easy to see who could handle accountability, constructive criticism, who you don't even want to bring up self-improvement to. I got people I don't even bring up self-improvement to them. I don't even bring up being better. I don't even bring up that shit to you because I know how you think. I know how you perceive things. So I'm not even going to waste my energy on that shit. Like, but back to saying everybody's a motherfucking relationship guru. It's so easy to cling on to some of these motherfuckers that act like they got the ultimate message. There's a bunch of men clinging on to Kevin Samuels, acting like they don't have no fucking backbone for themselves. And just like, I get it though. I get it because that motherfucker really is speaking up for a lot of men. Now, we ain't gonna go into, he is speaking up for a lot of things, men. As a young black man in America, I have personal experience and testimonials with some of the shit he talking about. So yeah, he do got a message, but there's a lot of other people out there that it's so easy to cling on to their whole message, and you start forgetting the whole fact that you a whole individual spirit out here. You're supposed to have your own shit together, okay? You're supposed to be enlightened and learn from others to cultivate your own personal shit. If I ask one of my homies what they looking for in a woman, you feel me? If I ask one of my homies, like, yo, bro, like, yo, what type of attribute you think your shorty that you want to have a baby with need to have? If that nigga throw on a Kevin Samuels video, like, matter of fact, bro, I got a perfect explanation for that. And throw on another video of another nigga talking, I'm like, alright, okay. Goddamn, don't nobody got a mind for their own now. Goddamn. So, yeah, this social media age is gas. Feel me? Had somebody DM me like, oh you, cause I heard you, I'm not even, matter of fact, yeah, like, and yeah, it do, I ain't gonna lie. He can deliver his shit. I guess tough. But then it reverts back. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Listen, he a Pisces. He's a Pisces. You never gonna see a Pisces act the way they do after not going through certain experiences. If you see a Pisces act as cold, stern, like that, then that Pisces went through certain spiritual travels to get there. So that's all I had to know off rip, him being a Pisces. Then, you know, it's kind of hard to speak on topics about men and women in today's times. I have nothing but women that follow me. So I'm very sensitive to the ways I convey myself. But my messages that's sent spiritually, dumb shits don't come. I try, as an air sign, I try my best to articulate myself a certain way, but I don't be caring about how y'all feel when I say this shit, because I feel like y'all gotta hear this shit. I don't be caring about that. I know some of these posts y'all read it like, okay, little triggering right now. Okay. But people be thinking when I post shit like that, like I'm excluded. Like I'm the nigga controlling, okay, yeah, today we gonna put the sun in, like I'm the nigga controlling the planets. Nigga, I'm under these lights too. Like I gotta deal with this shit too. Alright? That's why this shit be hard, social media be a little hard for me, because, you know, you gotta be transparent. You gotta be transparent here, and I'm not the one to be so open about personal shit. And I try to do that to help level out, not make it seem like I'm some superior, to not make it seem like I'm not the same nigga going through these same transits, all right, trying to be a better person, do shadow work, like I'm the same mother, like I ain't God, But it be hard trying to convey shit sometimes, and because people don't like accountability. People are used to being spoiled with things being told to them a certain way. Some people are used to people patting them on the back for everything. And now when it comes to you getting older in life and you realizing you've had an environment or some parents or a relationship that molded some negative shit in you, it hurts for some people to look in the mirror sometimes. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. So when I see another black man convey himself like that, communicate like that, y'all gotta understand how much, I'm not trying to make this a gender thing. It's the last thing I'm gonna say on that, but y'all gotta understand how much a black man in this, and I don't even like talking about black and white. I don't even like talking like that. I don't even like talking like that. But I don't get into that shit. Skin color, race, that's all a program. That's all this reality shit down here. We spirits. But it's just whack to see how a black man talking real shit gets so censored, and it's like the shit that's allowed to be on our screen ain't like the shit that some of your children are able to get access to and watch on social media, Instagram. That shit is up in the air for people. But once we start checking some shit, once people got to deal with accountability, wasn't nobody trying to get Derek Jackson off the fucking off social media. Wasn't nobody trying to get a lot of people that just be playing all type of different personas to sell books, to sell their services. Don't nobody want to say nothing about that. But I'm gonna leave that conversation alone. I appreciate the transparent, and I know people do. I know people appreciate the transparent posts. I know, that's why I post them. I know what this page attracts. I know who I attract. I know what type of energies I personally attract. So I know by default, you can't even be in this page. You can't even follow me if you don't like that shit. You can't even stay a follower on my shit. You feel me? You won't be a Patreon, a subscriber, an IG follower if you ain't ready to see some little triggering shit here and there. If you ain't about to hear about your bullshit here and there. It just is what it is. You feel me, family? So, yo, Z, you're a clown, bro. I'm black ass shit too. That's why I'm not leaving the house, cause a nigga get black during the summertime, and it's slavery weather out here, so a nigga get the AC. People thinking black people can't tan. Nigga, I tan. Nigga, I be extra dark almondish out this motherfucker. Feel me? But yeah, guys. So I just want to it's hard not to talk a lot of relationship shit in the times we're in today, but right now it really ain't no stability in no relationships right now. Just to be honest with y'all, ain't nobody really feeling stability in their relationships. Relationships is real half-assed right now. 9 out of 10 times somebody in a relationship getting half-assed right now. Nothing that don't got a lot of time put into it right now is working for real. So either you trying to put a lot of time into something, or you realizing this is not going to go until we start putting more time into this. So with this new moon making contact with a retrograde Saturn in a positive alignment, we need to look at all fucking options we have to get stable in this motherfucker and exercise them while they still here. Because once Saturn and certain planets start going direct, there's going to be certain things you wish you exercised during this time. There's going to be certain things you wish you revisited early summer. You feel me? For the kid. Yeah, it's all good. I bring it's a lever. You know I'm going to bring a balance. You feel me? I like having a sense of humor and dealing with comedy. You feel me? I got a goofy spirit, so I can't just sit and teach all day. I'm a clown on some shit. Somebody got to get roasted. Somebody's zodiac sign got to get roasted. Somebody's zodiac sign getting dragged. Somebody getting roasted. Like somebody getting triggered. Somebody getting clowned. That's just what it is. That's what we do it over here. Oh shit! I'm not even realizing y'all been sending me questions. I'm wilding out here. Alright. What's your advice for dealing with a Venus and Aries? You gotta let the Venus and Aries person know if you really want to be in a relationship, you have to learn how to compromise. It's no gray area. if you value me as much as you try to convey you do, it has to be concrete. Venus and Aries people sometimes can't. Venus brings value and appreciation wherever she's at. So when she has it in Aries, these people don't need to be self-motivated, self-inspired. They value their own motivation. They value their own goals. But it plays its opposite though. So when they get into a relationship, this person may not truly understand compromising like that. If they don't have no air in the chart or nothing like that, they may be hard dealing with compromise. Or they got some Pisces energy somewhere. No, they're gonna be stubborn. Okay, they're not gonna really like to work with a lot of people a lot of the times. But when they get into a relationship, they can play up possessive energies. So that Venus and Aries person, you can't let them get away with too much. When there's shit that they single-minded about, you have to nip it in the bud right there, because you might be the one that has to help them to understand that. Venus and Aries people learn through their relationships how to compromise, how to balance. I'm the opposite. I'm a Venus in Libra. So I could be too open. I could be too open, too happy, too giddy, too affectionate, too cuffy, too flirty, too lovey. And then it's like, damn, I don't have no individuality in my relationship. I made my partner a part of everything. We got joint accounts. I don't got my own fucking business account though. I don't got my own personal account. We got joint accounts now with this motherfucker. All right, so that's Venus. That's how you deal with a Venus and Aries person. You gotta nip they single-minded shit in the bud, and you probably gonna start realizing like, damn, they probably really never had nobody to teach them how to compromise. They probably never dealt with situations that they value that much to want to fight for. Stay in that, because they so used to diving into their own individual bag sometimes when it's like, all right, now I'm dealing with too much other shit with other people. I just want to be able to think, feel for myself, Venus and Aries, because that's what I appreciate. That's Venus and Mars is how we pick up feelings. So wherever your Venus and Mars out, these hold your feelings right here. So Venus and Aries people can feel strongly, can feel, have strong independent approaches to things. Venus and Aries, that's what makes them feel good. All right. So that's my advice with that. Okay, Aries questions. What advice would you give an Aries who is trying to remain grounded yet expressive with their emotion? All right. See, we was just talking about this a little earlier, and right now this is the time where if you can't learn to articulate yourself in a reasonable, logical, mature way with all this air and reality, dose of reality with Saturn, if you feel uncomfortable doing that in a relationship, these energies will highlight if this is a relationship to even be doing that for. You know, universe is really trying to help us to understand how we've been over exerting energies and things that's not being reciprocated. So as an Aries, you have to understand that the conversation is a conversation and not you making your point. That is important to understand as well as the Aries. Aries could get into certain conversations and forget that this is a conversation. This is still not you just expressing your point and me reacting to you. All right. So you got to go into the conversation understanding that there may be things that's different about your love language with the person you having this conversation with, and always have the goal to meet, to agree to disagree, to make things harmonious. But the conversation, the goal of the conversation is to put things in the light, not to clash. So do your best to articulate how you can put things in the light in the most reasonable way, and don't allow parts of the conversation to go there where you don't get a chance to finish the conversation. Sometimes fire signs, y'all can be that giddy. We didn't even get to finish the conversation because you went off when I made that second point. And that's it. Now we having the second conversation on Friday. Like, you don't gotta do all that. What's your fire signs focus on for the rest of the month and going into July? So it depends with fire signs, because they all getting hit differently. You know, when we looking at Aries right now, y'all rule by Mars. So with a lot of these energies right now, Aries, y'all getting hit with a lot of sextile energy in Gemini. So y'all dealing with a lot of replay scenarios with y'all relationships. OD, because it's sextiles, but it's a sextile which is harmonious. So y'all actually getting opportunities to positively nip things in the bud. Y'all learning a lot about yourselves right now, being critiqued from some air, from some conversations. A lot of the things that you're personally working on, Aries, is getting critiqued. Don't take it personally. You got to be open, because that's the universe trying to help you take the right direction with some of your personal projects. All right. Sagittarius. Some of the Sagittariuses right now are going through it because they opposite, all these energies opposite right now. So they dealing with faith, belief, all right? new experiences, adventure. But all these energies heavy in Gemini, we got to be more calculative with these things. We have to think a bit more. So Sagittarius is that have allowed themselves to be too open, too spontaneous. They may have ran into some circumstances in the past since we've been in Gemini season that made them feel unstable, that made them feel too open, way too accessible, too distracted, all right, too scattered, all right. And Sagittarius could already be scattered by default. And then Leo's really been in the they're the other sextile. Okay, so we got Aries sextile in Gemini, we got Leo sextile in Gemini. So really with the Leo's been playing out a lot of cool, calm, and collective energy. A lot of Leo's been in hibernation mode because they feel like they're watching what a lot of other people are doing right now. All right. And on top of that, Leo's are gaining a lot of information. Leo's and Aries are gaining a lot of fucking information on how they could act on business, or how they could take you may be getting information, Leo motherfucking Aries getting information for their grandma right now, how to deal with their girlfriend, boyfriend. Leo Aries right now getting a whole bunch of information from their neighbor on how they could invest in crypto. Y'all got, I was not saying everybody be open, listen more than you talk, exercise active listening a month and a half ago for no reason. Some people are able to make money because they know how to fucking listen. Some people don't know how to fucking listen. God damn. God damn. Some people don't know how to listen. Sheesh. So, yeah, that's what we dealing with right now. That's what we dealing with right now. You know? Listen, y'all. Just listen. Oh, yeah, and then you said, Leo's, that's another thing. Leo's Mars is about to be in your sign too. So when we're looking at Mars coming into the fire sign, that's actually a good question looking at for the rest of this month for the fire signs, because now that Mars is in Leo, what does that do? That gives Mars energy, real accessible energy to the rest of the fire signs. This whole past month and a half, all the water signs been having access to that Mars energy. So a lot of Scorpios right now made a lot of progress with things because they was accessible to the home ruler in a positive way. Scorpios was waking up every morning and just thinking like, all I gotta do is make sure my passions, I keep them at home. They're in Cancer, so I gotta learn how to, you know, be more, take more initiative acting my passions instead of always staying fixed in it. The more I can learn from how Cancer is actually, you know, initiating some of his passions and honing in on it a certain way, I'm learning like that. So a lot of Scorpios may have felt like they took a lot of steps to get things off the ground this past month and a half. A lot of Pisces have ignited fires in certain dreams that they've been sitting on, that they've just been fantasizing and dreaming about. Mars came in Cancer, it turned into a trine, it lit a fire under Pisces' ass. A lot of Pisces was way more expressive this season, way more expressive in their relationships, telling people no more. You know, so water signs wasn't nobody to fuck with this past month and a half. It wasn't nobody to fuck with. So now that Mars coming into Leo, don't fuck with the fire signs. Now that Mars is coming into Leo, what does Mars bring? It brings passion, it brings intention, it brings integrity, it brings courage, all right? It brings fight, all right? So when you put that shit in Leo, we're fighting for our creativity to get off. We're fighting for our forms of self-expression to be felt and seen. A lot of people are going to get into fights and clashes with Mars and Leo because they feel like their expression during Gemini season wasn't felt, wasn't seen. Actually, Mars is going to be in Leo during this Gemini season. Gemini is only, the sun is only 19 degrees. We got a few left to go before Cancer season is here. We got 10 more degrees to go. All right. So, I'm actually looking at tomorrow's transits. Motherfucking, the sun is 18. Sun gonna go to 19 degrees tomorrow. So yeah, we got 11 more degrees to go. So with Mars entering Leo on Friday, this is why, another reason why I'm saying shit gotta get nipped in the bud coming into the solar eclipse, coming into the weekend. Because when Mars gets into Leo, not only does it start to play out a little sextile energy to energies in Gemini, it gives more motivation, it gives more of a push when it comes into expression. We're already dealing with a lot of air. You have a lot of air in the mix. There's already a lot of communication, a lot of mixiness, a lot of lies, a lot of gossip, a lot of information being in the air, a lot of texting. I can't even fucking sit down and do work today. My phone is going off. My phone been a fucking distraction. I be having to put that shit on airplane mode when I gotta make videos, do not disturb and all type. My shit on do not disturb right now. because I know my shit will probably be blinging while I'm on fucking live. So air signs, air signs probably been the most scattered motherfuckers out here. But when we looking at that Mars and Leo energy, that just adds way more aggression towards how some of us may be communicating right now. We need to take Mars and Leo energy. Well, we're going to get into that, but we need to take that Mars and Leo energy. And it's going to be a hot summer. That's all I got to say. It's going to be a hot summer. It's going to be a hot summer. We coming into a summer with Mars and motherfucking Leo. This shit about to be crazy. All right? Oh, man. I keep thinking about how crazy this summer going to be. I keep thinking about it. Just because we dealing with all these motherfucking retrogrades. Just because people can't shut the fuck up. And then you throw Mars and Leo, so Mars and Leo get ignorant. That's the thing. Mars and Leo can get a little motherfucker ignorant there, because when you put Mars likes to be in fire signs, it correlates with that energy. So Mars and Leo people very dynamic with the way they express themselves, and they could take things personal when they feel like certain shit not being seen and felt, because they're used to being that light. They're used to having that passion for how they want to express something. Now we're not even just talking creative attributes, because these some creative motherfuckers. Mars and Leo, they different. Anything that falls into Leo get crazy, but Mars and Leo people go fucking hard for their art, for their music. They fight for it, take things personal when you critique it. That's how much that shit means to them. That's where they integrity and they root chakra and all their passions and intentions rely on. Their creativity, imagination, how they express themselves, how they dance, how they move, how they dress, how they look. Okay, so Mars gonna get into that shit, and we all gonna be hype as hell, aggressive as hell, to be either front stage, to have some expression in the light. People gonna start posting shit they would never post. I feel like social media is soft porn. Like, this shit is crazy. Like, people been wilding on the gram past couple of weeks, and I'm just like, alright, yeah. Like, fuck a IG YouTube censor rule. Like, motherfuckers is just ass naked on the gram. I'm just like, okay, this about to be a crazy summer. Gemini people all this heavy Gemini energy got people feeling all wild and free. Now we got motherfucking Mars moving into Leo. And now people are actually going to be demanding the spotlight, demanding to be seen, all right? Going out their way to be seen, instead of taking that Mars energy and looking at your actual thing, the actual creative attributes you do have, looking at the situations in your life where you do need to be expressive in a more intentful way, instead of just feeling like, because some people just like to hear themselves talk. Some people just like to, y'all know people that just like to fucking hear themselves talk, or people that just, look in the mirror a lot. Real self-centered energy is about to pop out with Mars and Leo. So it's going to be easy to jump into that. It's going to be easy to jump into that shit. And then a lot of that shit going to take place during Cancer season. So that's where the fight's going to come in. Not so much Gemini season. That's just going to be more so the aggressive thoughts. People are going to have aggressive thoughts that may come out to aggressive forms of communication. But when we get into Cancer season, this is when people are really going to be wilding, because I told you a lot of energies during Cancer season deal with transformation. When the summer starts, we're in a whole grid of transformation. So Mars and Leo people don't like to be fucked with during Cancer season. People are really in a looking towards a more positive outlook on how they want to take their emotional intention into a new space. All right, people want to be creative. People want to enjoy nature. People want to get their emotion aligned with life in a positive way during Cancer season. So when Mars and Leo energy creeps in there, motherfuckers is real individual, or egotistical about things that they personally into, how they can express themselves, how they seen themselves. Cancer energy, like Cancer and Leo energy, some dynamic energies, period. When I meet people and they have Cancer and Leo in their big three, I already be on some like, okay, because that's the sun and the moon. You got the sun and the moon in your big three. Sometimes you do a little too much, because your emotions is that strong and your actions is that strong. So when you got that shit in the big three, sometimes these people could be they can demand the stage. They can feel deeply,
when they being criticized, or when things about how they're seen are being analyzed, and people have opinions on it, they can take that shit real personal, and they can be very reactionary, but so reactionary to the point the moon rules the reactions. Leo is ruled by the sun, that is the action. So when you got that shit in the top 3, these people may never feel like they can't not react to something, and the way they do act on it is loud. So this person can gain a lot of attention quick. This person can touch others quickly. If they into something creatively, they teach, they design, they have some form of creativity to bring to the collective, it could spread like wildfire. They could connect them to so much people. It's like this. But they be having too much emotions. They have a lot of emotion to deal with themselves. Very strong energies. With great power comes great responsibility. And it's crazy because most of the time, people that have Cancer and Leo in their big 3, these people are some of the most down-to-earth individuals. But the way they express themselves at times, one circumstance, one moment could make them look crazy, and you wouldn't even know how down to earth this person is, how giving this person is. It could be that one little dynamic expression. And this could be if the sun is in Cancer, the moon is in Leo, or if the sun is in Leo, the moon in Cancer. When the sun is in Leo and the moon in Cancer, that should be when Cancer is in the sun and the moon is in Leo, that should be crazy. Because when the moon is in Cancer, the moon is home in Cancer and the sun is home in Leo. So it comes off with more wisdom with their actions and their emotions. Cancer moons have way more emotional intelligence than the Cancer suns. Cancer suns, y'all just cry babies. Cancer suns, y'all just cry babies, alright? Y'all be learning how to deal with the emotions out this motherfucker. And then when y'all start getting more experience and wisdom, y'all like, damn, I didn't know I was this powerful. I was just crying about shit all the time. The Cancer moon is a little different. Cancer moon is a little different. It has a different built-in type of wisdom when it deals with connection with the emotions of others. The Cancer moon is way more introverted than the Cancer sun. So we label Cancers as introverted, but that's the sun in Cancer. The sun is how you want to be seen. Once again, how you act, your light. The moon is who the person truly is. So when the person's sun is in Cancer, their emotions is going to be on the sleeve. They're moody. You're going to see the Cancer. You're going to see the cardinal water. You're going to see the emotion they want to project. When the moon is in Cancer, it's different. They're going to receive way more. They're going to be more patient. Cancer moons are way more understanding than the Cancer sun. The Cancer sun sometimes has an ego to grow out of. Cancer suns can have huge egos. You think they are Leo. So that Cancer moon, that shit changes shit. But once again, it's very strong energy. So when this person start understanding how not to let people get under their skin, how to deal with boundaries, but also how to create a formula or a container or an environment, or, for them to take what they really feel heavy on and what they creatively into and be able to connect that to others, or be able to build the spotlight for it. Oh man, Cancer and Leo in the big 3 get crazy. You feel me? I'm about to look up celebrities with the sun. I'm trying to think what Cancer celebrities I know with. Of course, Mercury retro. Okay. Yeah, Mercury retrograde shit. As soon as I want to see something, then the computer went act crazy. Okay, there we go. These with the. Y'all some dynamic motherfuckers. I don't know none of these motherfuckers, but I bet they powerful. So, Robert De Niro. Who's Sean Penn? That sounds familiar. The fuck is that?
Yeah, so that should get strong. But that all came from us talking about motherfucking Mars and Leo on Friday. And fire signs, y'all gonna have to relax because y'all gonna be on go. Y'all gonna be on go. Y'all gonna be real motivated to take your wisdom, to take your awareness about things and have them be seen. You're gonna be real passionate about that shit. Okay? So this is not the time, fire signs, to feel like fire signs have to be real selective with who they feel like they are about to be enlightening, whose moods they about to be uplifting and inspiring. All right? Y'all catch yourselves going out your way for the wrong people right now. Back to these questions. How to deal with a Scorpio rising? You know, the thing about Scorpios, man, Scorpio sun, moon, risings, they mysterious. They all mysterious as a motherfucker. Even in my video on YouTube when I said how you know a zodiac sign like you, Scorpios, we don't know. When it was their turn, I was like, you may never really know. So, Scorpio risings. When you look at Scorpio rising, if you're saying how to deal with them, then let's understand what makes them comfortable and what they don't fuck with. The first house is your personality house. The first house is your personal presentation house. It's the house that you deal with your personal issues. So planets and signs in this house show a whole lot how you deal with your personal issues, how we personally perceive you, things about your natural personality. And when we look at the house lord of that first house, you know, this is where we're seeing where your personality is the most active. We're seeing where your personality shines the brightest. So when you got Scorpio in the first house, Scorpio don't really fuck with the first house. All right? They don't fuck with that house because this house is kind of all about your personal presentation. Okay? So, you know, Scorpios don't invite being in the light like that. This house naturally gets some light. Is your first house, is your personal presentation, is your personal aura. So when you have it here, this person's personally more discreet. This person feel uncomfortable when others force them to push out internal energies, how they feel about things, how they think about things. Personally, this person don't like that. Now, depending on the sun and the moon, if their moon is in air, their sun is in fire. If their sun is in air, their moon is... This person's gonna still express themselves. Or, you know, if they got the sun and moon and water as well or whatnot, they're gonna deal with some form of connection. But all the water signs deal with connection. It's just that Scorpio is gonna take the longest connecting to at times. It's gonna take the longest to connect to because that ice gotta melt. AKA that ice gotta build a rapport with you. All the water signs gotta build a rapport to you, but they all different with how open and closed off they could be. Cancer's the aggressive one. Cancer's going to try to dominate the relationship when you connect it to them, set the initiative in the relationship. Scorpios could be a little bit more receiving like, and also be a little bit more in listener mode because they're trying to scope you out. They're trying to understand you to know if you're worthy of them transforming for them, going through transformation for them. All right. Pisces is probably the most open water sign because they dealing with Neptune and Jupiter energy. So this is where Pisces see the good in everything. They see the good in everybody. That's where that shit come from. It's 12th house Neptune Jupiter outlook. So everything's optimistic. Everything has a bright potential to it. So Pisces be the ones sometimes that be having to learn learn from Scorpios, and Cancers take your time a little bit more sometimes. Don't be so open to connect your water. All right. So Scorpios could take so long connecting their water sometimes that they fuck up opportunities. Scorpios will fuck up a good thing because they wasn't being open. They was being true to themselves. They was feeling too vulnerable connected to something there. And they fucked something up. Somebody that was about to... A whole situation, relationship, this person's going to help you with emotional well-being. You about to learn so much with that person. You was going to be with them forever. But this person was sent to help you with a whole bunch of shit. And you just fucked that whole opportunity up. So... all water signs is connecting, but dealing with the Scorpio in the first house, you can't force them. Nothing about the Scorpio in the first house, you can't force them to give up things personally that they're not open to give up on. Like once you start forcing them to be more expressive about things, that's when it gets really uncomfortable for them. Very uncomfortable for the Scorpio rising. And then when you come off super curious,
Like super curious people could tick Scorpio risings off a little bit too if you just too damn curious. Cause now they gonna feel like when they come around you gonna be pressing some buttons for them to open up about some shit. All right, Scorpio in the first house. All right, so you got that there. And how to deal with them, you gotta let them brew. That's some of the best ways to deal with Scorpio Sun Moon risings. Period. I mentioned them the other day when I said signs that you gotta leave them alone when they mad. They one of them. You just gotta let them do their thing. Like Scorpio rising will let you. They will. If you deal with a Scorpio for long enough, you'll realize that's all they be needing. You'll realize like, all right, we're not about to have this argument tonight. Like whatever. Have a good night. It's all love. I still love you, but I'll speak to you tomorrow. Do your thing tonight. That right there, that go a long way. That go a long way with a Scorpio. That go a long way with a Scorpio. Because this is what that does. Now the Scorpio's like, oh, you not telling me how to deal with my emotions? Okay. All right. Might be able to make a little home here. Might actually be able to I might actually be able to entertain a relationship here. This motherfucker letting me deal with my emotions on my own. Like they not making a big deal about how I deal with my shit. Alright. Now you got the Scorpio trying to make efforts. This is how you get the Scorpio trying to make some more efforts on their own now. It's like you don't gotta be on top of the Scorpio to be more open because you help them feel comfortable, not forcing them. Their whole life is about that shit. So if they come around people that they like, but the person that they like not doing that, that's it. There you go. Scorpio's down. Scorpio's down. And this is why they become so loyal. This is why they start becoming so loyal. Because, you know, like zodiac signs, we don't get these stereotypes for nothing. We don't get these stereotypes for nothing. And I know people follow me because they really want to dig into the science for astrology. I know some people like the lighthearted sun sign humor, don't really give a fuck about aspects and all that other shit. But the stereotypes and things we say about signs just don't derive out of thin air. You know, Scorpios, they're gonna, once, like I said, once you give them the opportunity to deal with their emotions on their own, this is why they become so loyal, because a lot of people didn't even make it into the Scorpio circle because they didn't even feel comfortable around them. Like, because they went through certain situations where they did when they were young. Probably you have a young vulnerable Scorpio, or a young, you know, a Scorpio that's came up in an environment dealing with mad siblings and whatnot, or maybe got some placements and it attracts a lot of attention. There's a Leo moon too. So Scorpios already go through a lot of situations feeling like they have to transform their emotions and shit, transform how they feel, or prep their emotions before going into this new school, this new date, this new whatever. So once they just around somebody that they don't gotta do that shit around, it's like, yo, I love you. Like, I dead ass love you. I might not say that shit because I'm a Scorpio, but I love you. I'm down for the ride. So that's where that loyalty build up, because that shit, people done fucked up loyalty sometimes. But I ain't gonna lie, I know I be getting on top of people I'll be talking about accountability, tough love, but some certain signs have tougher lessons than the others. Certain signs, it is what it is. Everybody got their gifts, everybody got their lessons. Everything's by divine, like everything is in its divine time and everything is perfect. Understand that. Everything is not perfect, but it's perfect. You take that how you take that. Okay? So I'm a fucking Libra. We got all type of fucking issues all lessons we gotta learn in this motherfucker. Alright? If you are, me being a Libra and being ruled by Venus makes some of my Pisces and Taurus, we all ruled by Venus. So we going through different things, but we learning some of the same lessons because we got the same ruler. Alright? You a Cancer, somebody else a Pisces. Y'all going through some of the same lessons because y'all both water. Alright? Every sign is different though. Every sign is different. Okay? I have an 11th house Pisces stellium. How do I balance or use this energy? Well, you have to see what planets is in that stellium, because each planet that's in that stellium, understand it's under Pisces influence. So it's dealing with a lot of creativity and a lot of imagination, a lot of shit that ain't in reality, a lot of subconscious energy, a lot of emotion. So you have to look at the natural energy of the planets you have in there, and make sure that it's able to utilize the most it can with its natural energy and balance itself with Pisces energy. So let's say you have Mars, Sun, Jupiter in Pisces. Okay, the sun is going to project Pisces energy. So you know you're going to project creativity or illusions. So now you have another lens to look at your sun at. You know your sun is capable of acting on illusions or pushing out some creative shit. And it's all going to be mixed in with how you feel. Then we got Mars in Pisces. You know, Mars deal with your passions, your intentions. All right. So this lets you know, okay, I may have some real creative intentions, or a lot of intentions to deal with creativity, acting, and music, or real passionate about spirituality, teaching. But I could be in illusions with my passion for it too. You know, some people be having. What song I was listening to? Lloyd Banks was dropping a new album. The nigga said somewhere in this shit, he was like, "Ain't nobody hating on you. Your music, you can't rap. Your rap trash." Mars in Pisces might be one of them placements where you can't tell them nothing. Might be it's a passionate ass illusion, but cannot rap. It's like, damn, bro, you need to learn to rap a little bit more. Like, you got all that passion. I ain't gonna tell you not to be a rapper, but damn, you could get around some other rappers or something, man. Get around the I don't know, but that's how that should be. That's how that should be. You want to take each planet out that stellium, single it down, all right? Understanding the positive and negative attributes that play out with that planet being in Pisces, and understand it's a stellium. So it's a triple tag team. They all connected. You feel me? So you have to understand how you keep them connected. How you keep them connected. All right? You want to understand the natural vibration of the planets and their natural relationship. So if you were part of the Saturn and Pisces generation, and you got the Sun and Venus in that motherfucker, then it's like you got some imbalances of relationships there. Venus and the Sun, they don't like Saturn. The Sun want to live, express. Venus deal with his pleasure, so they none of them want to be around restriction. None of them want to be around discipline. All right, so it really depends on what's up in there. But understand, and it's in the 11th house. It's in the 11th house. The 11th house is an air house. That house deal with the unknown, unfamiliar. So you got Pisces in the house that deal with the unknown and unfamiliar. That house needs reality. You need to look at the house with more realistic, because you got energies in the house that will have you in all type of different. You probably manifest situations with Pisces in that 11th house where you be connecting to people that take you into all type of illusions over business, over you feel me? You put too much faith in a situation you don't really know that well, in a person you don't really know that well at times with that energy. Everything in the 11th house is going to deal with people, but more so associates, business relationships, organizations, associations. All right? So you got to be careful there with that one. Good question. How to not drown if you have mostly water placements in the chart? I love this question. Why? Because water signs can drown themselves in their own waters. What does that mean? Water signs, you guys feel, all right? You guys deal with the vibe, all right? So if you guys can't get into a situation where you are able to observe the emotion, if you're always embodying it, you're always swimming in it, and you never hit the shore to embody how you really feel about something, if you don't hit the shore to understand where the root of why you feel that something comes from, water signs, you're going to stay swimming. You're going to stay swimming. You know, a lot of times, water signs, you guys have to get detached more than anybody else to start making sense of your issues. Because y'all be trying to make sense of it in, like, swimming in the motherfucker. Y'all be trying to, like, you have a Pisces, let's say a Pisces stellium, Scorpio moon. Got Pisces stellium, Scorpio moon. So you probably deal with a lot of situations where, you know, you're able to connect with others, but people start leaning on you and draining you emotionally at times. Because a lot of water people get drained, because sometimes people some motherfuckers be too dry out here, and they get around the water sign, feel a little bit of moisture. make you feel more flexible, make you feel like you can move some more. And that's how water signs deal with their ability to connect to others. All right. Water signs have a way of articulating themselves as well. We got some air element in water too. All right. So water signs can be very smart, but you can have a water sign that you could look at a water sign like you intelligent as hell, but emotions get in the way. That's what we're talking about. It's hard for some water signs to analyze their situation with a step out of their situation. I tweeted the other day. Sometimes you got to take a step back, take a step forward. Water signs have to do that a lot. They have to do that a lot, okay? Another thing about water signs, you know, the most important thing here, when you have a whole lot of water and you're talking about drowning, you have to always, especially, you know, when we're dealing with certain transits like today, remaining as detached as possible is always going to help the water sign to analyze what the root of what something negative is, and also helping the water sign to understand, you know, why they attracting certain things. Until you get detached, you're not going to know how your own water is. You just letting anything go in your cup, in your pitcher, you feel me? Until you get detached enough to know how you like your temperament or your water to be, all right? If you want to have aggressive tides and waves, or if you want to be a cool, calm, and collected water, you got to understand your own current first. Water signs could get too connected to things, and you got too much shit in your cup. You got too much people thinking that you're so accessible. You got so much people got you done said yes to so many things. You too connected. So, just like how I'm saying, I got heavy air, so I could get lost too in air, in relationships, and shit with other people. Water signs, heavy water, you're gonna connect a lot. Water connects. Gotta be wide. You gotta be mindful of what you connect into, and the best way we do that is being detached. So it almost goes to the same information for any element that feels. Well, that's a different question, but mostly for the water sign, detachment is serious business for you guys. So I said I wanted to be on for an hour. Alright, I'm gonna have to hop on, y'all. Dana Simone, shout out to Dana Simone. Take plenty of baths. Water signs need to do a lot of cleansing. Like I said, y'all, leave a cup of water on the desk for a week. Come back and see a lot of bacteria, a lot of buildup, a lot of particles in that motherfucker. Alright? You may see a little water bug around that motherfucker trying to get some moisture. So that's an analogy to let you know, water signs, people be trying to feed off y'all. People be trying to get some life off y'all. Water is everything. We really in water right now. We really in, this is just a different condensation of it. Everything really is water too. Okay, shout out to Dolo Pilot Man, shout out to Archangel Uriel. So y'all already know what it is, family. I hope y'all, dive into some cool, calm, and collective vibes. Understand what needs your time invested and what doesn't. Understand what, and where, and how, and everything in your life. You need to make sure what energy is being reciprocated right now. You need to understand what decisions you need to make right now to make yourself more stable. People are feeling unstable, but not trying to exercise and maximize the things that they could do right now to get themselves fucking stable. All right? People letting responsibilities fly over their head. People not utilizing the resources they have. They being taken away from you, and retrograde making you realize, like, God damn, I gotta work hard back to get my resources, or now I gotta learn to use what I got now. Like, we don't have to go through them situations, family. We don't have to go through them situations. Look at your reality from a realistic point of view, and everything after this eclipse can move in a more fruitful way towards what you're trying to grow into your reality. There's a huge emphasis of that during this eclipse. Blank slate, solar eclipse. We can't see, the sun is being hovered over and whatnot. We can't see the way we want to be seen. We got to project that. We got to make a new projection of that now. Okay? So like I said, it's a very strong energy. You could come into the solar eclipse with force, with what is it that you want to project that's new. But it comes with a lot of tough decisions to make sure, understanding what's not going to come in, what ways of thinking not going to come into this new chapter, this new cycle. And you got to know that you're going to sustain this energy throughout the summer and the rest of the year. Like, people do new moon rituals, and the weekend hit you on some bullshit. All right, so I love y'all, fam. Y'all already know what it is. It's the Lucky Libra. I'm gonna get these personal readings out on YouTube. So I make sure to tap into YouTube to get more of a in-depth breakdown on how these alignments are hitting you, what you're gonna be prone to full moon. All right, post new moon. All right, family. So that's that. Until next time, y'all. Peace.